So I went back to the other way. I didn't like how it looked with the other way. Like, I don't know. It looked different when I made the video. Looks different when you put it on YouTube. When you put it on YouTube, it changes it. Like, I don't know. But anyways, just keep doing it this way. So there was a couple things I want to talk about. Uh, One of the things this morning, we walked around. I really missed that farm. That was such better walks. I can see like what I want to have, like what I want for my future. I definitely want to have like, well, I would love to have it in Scotland, a little farm in Scotland with a little barn art, like a art barn where you can go out and do art, but also like a little barn. I would like to have like a goat, some chickens, and probably just a goat and some chickens. Because like I would like to get the eggs. The goat you can use for goat milk, goat cheese. And goats are just cute as hell. And maybe a cow to get milk. But you could also, if you have a network of a community, you can get that stuff from other people who have it. But anyways, mostly I would like to have, a place that is more out. Like, it really bugs me how they're just cramming more houses in here, and it's just so mental. Like, you move out and then they just, oh, let's put some more out here. And who knows all of the backstory, what the fuck. Anyways, I'm not gonna go off on that. There was some noise over there, but still there is something going on. They're not breaking ground and building new houses. And now it's closing in on the end of summer, right? So they usually stop building so much. I don't know. It seems like, I don't want to get it mixed up in it, because in Spokane, the building season's much smaller because the winters are super harsh. And that's why I moved over here. It's like, I got to get away from this extreme weather, but I didn't know at the time the weather was being manipulated like it is. Like, even when I knew about some of the stuff, like the technology, the hidden history and stuff, because you learn all that stuff when you're following the ufology community. That's the stuff they talk about, hidden history. We know they're lying, aliens are real and stuff like that, and trying to figure out, like, and it leads you to the flat earth stuff. Then once you get to the flat earth, once you cross into the flat earth stuff and you start seeing like, oh, we're not even spinning out in space, and everything starts making a lot more sense to me. But anyways, I wanted to get back to this. So when we went for a little walk around our house, which seems like, I don't know, it seems so puny now, like this little walk that we go. I used to think it seemed like it felt pretty big, we'd walk around, walk the paths and stuff. And plus, she's not wanting to walk the whole thing. She just likes to go and find her certain spots and then lay down and, watch what's going on. Yesterday, she did go out and run up the driveway a couple times. And then she came in whining. So her hips and stuff are still hurting, but she still is, to me, she looks like she's losing weight, and which is good for her hips. She still has a lot of fatness right here. You can tell because they get these big rolls. And I didn't realize it was just big fat rolls until the vet told me, like, you need to get rid of all these rolls. I thought that was just part of her body. So anyways, we walked down there. And so I was listening. Well, at first, I was just looking out across, at all of the fog that is just all over the mountain, and thinking about like the super cool temperature and the atmosphere and the fake sun and how they turn it on. Like, I was just thinking about that stuff. And then I heard some noise and I saw some squirrels playing in a tree over at the one house that is so negative. I was like, well, why aren't they playing in my house? I think I'm positive. What, are they drawn to the negative? Oh, I was like, what the hell? Kind of hurt my feelings. But then I heard a squirrel over at my other neighbor's house, and I looked over, and it came and jumped down and jumped over and came running up my tree. So it was listening. But anyway, so I was sitting out there and I was just thinking, man, that it's just so crazy, because there's not much activity. Like, there was a couple birds you could hear, but it's just nothing like it was. It's just eerie. It's so eerie. And the way people just don't even pay any attention, they just don't even, and it's not even just that. It's just, I don't know. There's like an intenseness, like, like going outside and sitting. It's in this confined space with this weird energy and stuff, and all this death and stuff, and people just out there arguing and fighting and screaming, and it's like, oh my God. It's like, I just want to sit out here and relax. But that's what has got me really focused on, like, I really want to have a place where I've got more distance between me and the people. Like, I want to keep, I think that, I don't think that I could sell my house, like, right now, no matter what. So, I think that's all because that's the way it's supposed to be. And, I think the banks are failing. I think, it's chancy to have everything line up to do some big moves right now. But, I man, I would love to. I love this place so much. And I've done so much work. I mean, this whole quarantine, I've been doing all of this work and doing it myself. I've been creating this whole space and I love it. And it's so cute. So I want to keep it and share it. I want to do more work and make it even cooler so that, it's a good little travel spot. Because then, you're not that involved. You're just coming and, spending the night, going and doing, if it's a travel spot, or even if, my kids use it to stop off when they're out traveling and stuff. Because it seems like a lot of my kids feel like me. They just want to be nomadic. They just want to go out and travel and have adventures. Everybody is sick of this, like, the life that they want us to create. Just always striving, buying, consuming, never feeling good about yourself, always needing to buy the next best thing. Everybody's just sick of that. Everybody just kind of sees like that is dead. It doesn't give you anything back. It just feels like you're just drained and you just live your whole life like that. So a lot of people have turned in the direction away from that in the system and wanting more from life. So many people, like I keep running across different people saying, hey, I've got property. I'm trying to build a commune and, community living. Not just sharing houses, but some are even saying like we could put a bunch of tiny houses, like all sorts of stuff can go on. And that is what we need to start out with. I just have so much visions of this. Like they just give me visions all the time of, I guess like the possibilities. Like it seems like I'm supposed to, as a, a creator or somebody who enjoys creating space and stuff. And then what they show me, I can see, like, I can totally see the future and how it can work so easily. Where other people are so scared and think like, oh, we got to have grocery stores. Oh, we got to have jobs. We got to have, all this stuff. We got to have hospitals. We got to have banks. And I can see the world without all that stuff. And I can see how much better it can be. And it's so weird too, is because part of it is just looking at the past. Seeing the past shows you the future because everything just goes in cycles. We just go through cycles, and that's part of the thing. I said I put a video. I haven't posted it yet, but I'm sure it's gonna get some hate because I just see all these people. Like there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people right now. Where everything is dividing, like spiritual community, religious community, all the people who are waking up, those are dividing all of these different things, like even the people who are into the politics. I mean, everything just keeps dividing. And so I saw this one guy who is always seeing spiritual stuff, and he was talking to apparently there's a whole, he said there, I was reading in the comments, there's a whole sector of the Black spiritual community, apparently, that believe that the sun is burning up white people. And so white people are all going to just burst into flames or disappear or something. And then the black people get to take over the earth again. And he's like, do you guys know how crazy you sound? Like he's going off on him. But that's the thing is like a lot of people get involved with these certain groups and then they start seeing like, wait a minute, what the hell are y'all talking about? That's why discernment and not just following, don't get just all into one group or something because you're not just one thing makes you up. You are an assortment of things. So, there shouldn't just be like, oh, I'm just, this group, that's my group. That's what happened, how people woke up and found themselves like, these are my friends. Oh my God, we don't even have anything in common. We don't even look at life the same, and it's the same thing. It just is a repeating pattern because in the awakening, it is super vast. It's huge, It is a lot to wake up from. It's not just like you're asleep and then you wake up and it's like, oh, it's a new day. No, you have to wake up to a lot of things. It's the difference in living your life from your avatar and living your life from your soul. Like, it's very different. You have to observe. You have to like renegotiating your mind, like look at things differently and expand how you see things. And so anyways, there's like a whole bunch of different people who keep talking about like this spiritual division. And one thing I have said since the beginning of me talking about the spiritual stuff, because, well, when I was younger, they called us New Agers. And that was the term to make fun of us all. Like, oh, yeah, New Agers, all those old fucking New Agers, those crazy New Agers, cult New Agers. Like we were just all going to run outside and wait for a spaceship to fly over. And then we would all drink our Kool-Aid and jump up inside or something. Like because that kind of stuff, I guess, was happening supposedly. But now that I know more about the disinformation program, then, it was just a way to get people to not wake up at that time. But, my awakening's been going for my whole time, even when I was young and I kept thinking, what is wrong with me? Why do I not fit in? Why are all these people so different than me? And I was so confused by it and I thought something was wrong with me. But, 2020 gave me the vision of like, oh, no, all of the stuff I know is right. I'm supposed to be telling these people who are lost, these people have got themselves cut off from the truth. So, that's when I could see like, oh, and then it's kind of feels like you have a duty or something, but also, you have you're like contracted, but it's like you have a mission. You have a mission. So it's not like you can get away from it because they'll just start telling you. They'll point things out to you and then they'll start telling you. And they'll tell you, like, you need to say this, you need to say that. And like I said, they'll just go over and over and over and keep saying it until you go say it. But so I put this video to these people about the colonizers because all these people who keep saying, oh, you colonizers. And it's so divisive. Oh, my God. Some of these people I'm friends with on this platform. And to me, it is just like, we are not our ancestors. I don't know how people cannot understand. Each soul is individual. We are not of the ancestors. And all the souls that are here right now, it is to change ancestry. It's to change lineage. It's going full circle. And so these people, they're like, I don't know. It's like that they just, there's so much, okay, white people, okay, colonizers, okay, with your white patriarchy. I don't even know the stuff that they say. It's like, do you know how much you are stereotyping, generalizing, and creating division? So anyways, in my thing, I said, if you understood about reincarnation and about soul cycles and, you're here to clean up your own mess, your own karma, you are the person who was the colonizer. Like, Like, go in and understand about fucking reincarnation, for God's sakes. And all these people waking up who think like, because you do feel super powerful. You do, like, when your soul awakens, it's like, hell yeah, fuck yeah, I'm eternal, man. You can't hurt me. And you just, like, the world expands, and, but these people, they just, I don't know, they wake up and then they just get, like, if you haven't done your ego work, then they just wake up and go into ego. Like, oh, it's you guys, it's you guys, it's you guys. Yesterday, or this morning, maybe it was, nerdy white guy popped up on my thing. I hadn't seen him in quite a couple weeks or something. And he just said, I don't know what's going on. I keep going out and trying to look at the sun, and it's just way too bright. I can't even look at it. So something's going on. It's like, dude, this is how we ever even started talking. I don't even say anything anymore. It's like, dude, I have been telling you for goddamn months. It's a fake fucking sun. How many videos do you have to see where people are showing? Like, I saw a video yesterday. There was 3 motherfucking suns. The guy was showing like the sunset, and then he goes over and there's 2 suns next to each other. So there's a sunset here, and then over here, there's 2 suns right next to each other. It's like they've just lost count. They've got so much shit going on up there that they just are like, oh, is the moon over there? Okay, we got the sun coming in. Okay, we got the, it's Truman Show. It's all they fucking do. And they just move this shit around. We're in a fucking snow globe. And, so many people now, they keep having rain and there's no clouds and weird flash floods happening, all sorts of crazy shit. There was, this guy was showing this footage where all of a sudden in the ground, just sinkhole coming out, but it was like a hole formed and all this water just started coming up, just this water pouring up from the ground. And it was like, it looked like, the size of I wouldn't say lake, but a lake. I mean, it was big. It was big. It wasn't super deep yet, but it was really big. It wasn't just like a little spot. And I said, in my opinion, it would be the earth is showing us, hey, don't worry. They can fuck your water up, but I got water right here for you. And, just, oh, look, here's water for you. Don't worry, people. I've got water. Because they're poisoning all of our water and they're trying to get people to drink it. And, so many people are onto them and talking about it and stuff. But there was people who were in the comments saying, oh, it's the tunnels. The tunnels are all flooded as the water's just coming up now. So, I don't know. To me, it is the earth giving back water. I don't know. But these, there is just so much division. Like when you see, this is one thing I saw this one girl say yesterday, and it was like, yeah, this has been my experience for sure. And another guy saying it too a couple weeks ago. But it's definitely for some of us who are, like any of us who are talking about conspiracies and talking about the truth speakers, and especially, oh, you say anything about flat earth right away, well, you must be a Christian. So then when you start talking more about your beliefs, like I start talking about reincarnation and talking about consciousness and energy and, who and what we are, because all of the people who are Christian, they just think like they're just born here, they're flesh and blood, they're just proving to their God that they can go and sit at his feet and sing to him for eternity, and they don't want to go to hell. That's the biggest. I do not want to go to hell. It's like, dude, you're in hell. But anyways, those people, they when you start talking about anything that's off, like they go into your comments all the time. Well, Jesus is going to save us. Like you talk about any of stuff. Jesus is going to save us. Oh, the Holy Savior is on his way. We don't have to worry about anything. We will be saved and all this stuff. It's like, dude, I don't believe that. I believe you got to save yourself. You got to do your work. I mean, didn't Jesus explain all that to you in the Bible? But they get all freaked out, but they'll start attacking us, like, because we don't follow along with the script, the narrative. And so we start talking about other things, and both of those people I would say I'm more of a spiritualist, mystic, new ager, or whatever. It's so hard because you can't take any labels, because all labels start becoming wackadoo crazy. So, and then these people consider themselves to be pagans. They're more active, which kind of religion or whatever. Like they do ceremonies and stuff like that. And like I believe in all that stuff. Like I know all that stuff's real and right and stuff, but that's just not what I'm here to be a part of. Like I feel like I did that in a past life kind of thing. Like I feel like, oh, I've already lived those lives where I was a witch and where I was like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for something different. I'm here for the awakening. I'm here to help people awaken to the truth, I think. And so, anyways, those people though, that, because I see this all the time, where a religious person, so there's those of us who are truth speakers, and then we start talking about our stuff, and we get these people in the comments like, wait a minute, you can't do that. You got to wait for Jesus. And Jesus is the savior and all this stuff, right? But these other people who are religious, and then they start saying stuff like, well, wait, I don't think that that's right. When the Bible said this and blah, 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 and I think that it has more to do with this or whatever. Oh my gosh. They get like super attacked. Like, how dare you? How dare you go off of the narrative? And that is what the reaction is on everything. But see how I say, like, even into the awakening, how people get stuck. It's like, it's not about this stuff. It's not about like claiming like, oh, I'm spiritual. I'm a far greater spiritual than you. I am a vegan spiritual. I understand crystals. I meditate at least an hour every day. I go for a nature walk. I bathe in creeks, like, these super spirituals that, who think you got to do what they do. Otherwise, they're above you. They're way better than you. And to me, it puts people off. Like people who are trying to follow along. It's like, well, what if I like to eat meat? Well, then you can't be spiritual. You're not spiritual if you're not vegan. It's like, dude, what the hell? Shut the fuck up. It's mental. It's like it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with your connection to self, your mind, body, spirit connection, pulling into yourself. And like I talked about for so long, everything that you are led to eat, that is in your DNA. I mean, I don't care what other people think at this point about that. Like, I understand it's in your DNA. It goes all the way back to your lineage, it can go back to past lives. Like, in your DNA, what makes you up as your battery system for your consciousness, your system is made up of all sorts of particulars. Like, it has parts of you from your past lives, the imprints from your ancestry. It's everything that matters to you. And the whole thing is you're not supposed to be doing what someone tells you to do. You're supposed to be doing what you are told from the inside. When you listen to yourself and you tap into yourself. And it can be, some of these people could be getting led to stop eating meat. I mean, the stuff with meat going on right now is mental. I've seen people sharing like ground beef, like a package of ground beef, $18. Oh, and what I was going to say the other day, and I interrupted myself, of course, is when I was at the food bank, and, and I could get 2 meats, and I always get the meats for Stella, but I was sitting there thinking, man, I wish there would be some salmon or something, because I want to make these sushi bowls. And so, but I wasn't expecting there to be salmon when I went up there. I was just like, man, I need to go to the store and get some salmon because I want to make these sushi bowls. And then I was like, oh, I could always make them with tofu. Well, when you make a sushi bowl, you got to have something, because it's just like rice, cucumber, that, and some sauces and stuff. It's like a sushi, only it's in a bowl. So anyways, and now I don't even have an avocado, but I am going to go to the store tomorrow. But anyways, so when I went up there, and there was these giant packages of salmon, where each package had like 3 pieces, like big pieces of salmon. So I got like 6 or 8 giant pieces of salmon, and they're in these bags. So I don't know, like, I just don't even know. I did cook one piece, seeing it was very fishy, but I was like, well, no matter what, it will feed Stella, even if it's too fishy for me to eat. It was like, hell yeah. But it's still everything that is the food. It's like, is this government food? What is this stuff? For all I know, it's a goddamn thigh of a human. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Everything is so freaking nonsense. Yesterday, I had a bunch of, there was some ones that, it's so crazy too, because I feel like that I'm fighting the algorithm. Like, the algorithm is getting very frustrated with me because I keep having these videos and it will just start blowing up. It will start going, 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 and going, and then it just like stops. And they think like, oh, you wouldn't notice that. Well, no, it's going and going and going and going and going, and then just stops. Like, dude, come on. That, when you post on there, usually it'll sit there, sit there, sit there, sit there, sit there, and it will take hours, and you'll have like a few people start seeing it, and sometimes it'll start going really fast, but typically it will take hours before it will start going. And then, like, when I've had ones that have gone whatever viral or whatever, it will be like all of a sudden like 4 days later, and you'll just be getting nonstop comments and likes on this video, and it's like, God, that was a few days ago. So, but right now I keep having these ones that keep going, and then so we'll start going real fast, and then they have to, oh wait, stop that. And I know that they take away followers and stuff. I have to keep refollowing the same people. So I know they take away they interfere with that. They interfere with likes. They interfere with comments. Because you can just tell when you're paying attention to the numbers, and you know how it's working. And so anyways, I just hope that I've seen so many other people who keep saying the same thing. So I just hope their whole system just goes. But, there was something else. Oh yeah. So anyways, on one of these videos that was getting a bunch of people going on and watching it and commenting and stuff like that. I was talking about the same thing I talked about yesterday. Like, when I was watching TikToks the other day, and this one lady, she always shares, like, she's always on a chair or something, and she's showing you her TV. So when you see her TV, I've done these videos too, so I know exactly what she's showing her TV, and she's sitting there and she's like commenting on what they're talking about in the news, and saying funny stuff. And so it was hers that I had seen about all of these mass floods. And so this one lady, she comes into my comments. If it's a lady, I don't know. It's supposedly a lady. And she says, well, where is your sources? Where's your information? Because I can't find anything about floods. I was like, okay, well, did you look up the floods and I named the different places, and it was like 4. And she said, I've tried looking, I can't find anything about them. And I said, well, it's this lady's channel and the news and stuff like that. And I don't know. She kept acting like, I was making it up or something. So I went into my likes and looked, and I found the lady's channel. So I went in and I found a couple videos, and I tagged her in them so she could see. But so I saw the videos again when I was doing that. And it was, I think, CNBC. I'm pretty sure it was CNBC and Fox were the news that she was watching that was showing all of these things happening. But it's weird because this person is saying, I'm Googling it and looking up, and there's nothing about any of these floods. like, okay, weird, because they're talking about on the news, but that lady hasn't said anything back. I went in and tagged her in several. I went in and commented and said, hey, I tagged you in them. You can go look for yourself. But, you know, that's legit. That's for real. There's a reason why, you know, my guides make sure I see that stuff. So I go and talk about it and say, hey, this was happening a year ago. I have saw the same exact footage a year ago, and now it's on the news and they're pretending it's happening right now. Like, that is what they do. They lie, they manipulate all the time. And I mean, they're doing it right now. They do it about every single thing in our lives. It's all just to keep us confused, to keep us small. It doesn't fucking matter about some of this shit. It doesn't matter, like, what the truth. We all have different truths. We all see things differently. You know, just like the people who are like, yeah, you're not even gonna, you know, ascend if you're not vegan. It's like, you will figure that out for yourself. For God's sakes, Jesus was fucking giving fish. Like, what the hell? So, I don't know. I mean, to me, you got to listen to your body. You got to tune into your body. And tuning into your body will lead you to, oh, you're stressed out, body? Well, let's go for a walk. Let's go meditate. Oh, we've got a problem, body? Well, let's go sit with that. Let's go think about it. Show me what you want to show me. You know, give me insight. Talk to your higher self. Show me what I should do in this situation. Show me what am I missing? What do I need to see? And then you got to be open to how it's shown to you, because they do it through music. They do it through shows. They do it through conversations. Like, you could be standing at the store and you hear somebody talking and the message is actually to you. Your guys wanted you standing there to hear this right then. So the communication will come in and then you will hear it and you'll go, oh, that. And it is like the message goes in. You hear somebody say something. For me, a lot is the TV, because I'm by myself a lot. And so the TV talks to me. And, and it's so crazy because they've told people for so long that means you're mentally ill. No, it doesn't. It means you are listening to the universe around you and you realize that this is just a simulation. None of this is real. You're in a movie. You're in a video game. Who are you listening to? Are you just playing as the avatar? Or are you listening to the controller? Are you just mindlessly moving through the game? Or are you listening to who's in control? And these people, like, I've seen these people now who were talking about aliens. Like, there's all sorts of people now who are channeling aliens. They are being abducted by aliens. Aliens are visiting. Like, there's tons of these people now. And so I saw where they're talking about that our being, like they're just really stuck on flesh and blood, people. They're really stuck on it. They can't imagine we're all just a dream. Oh, but I have seen more people now who are like, and sharing other people talking about it, like sharing, I don't know, people that they listen to or follow or something, like, I don't know, all these different spiritual leaders or whatever people follow. But so they were saying that what was it that they were saying? The sun. Well, let me go back to what I was finishing before. So they're saying that because these other people are saying now that we are, God, how do I keep losing it? Okay, let me go back because I need to finish this other thing. So these people are saying that our flesh and blood beings are being held captive, like kind of like in the Matrix movie, and that we're being held captive and we're tied down and they are forcing us to project our image into this game, and they won't let us out of this game or something, like this really elaborate scheme. It's like everything is like these weird schemes. And there's what were they showing about those guys? where they were saying those guys were, about it being a simulation. Oh, I can't remember. Well, there is more people who are understanding about this being a simulation and that we are projected in, but they still go into this like, our flesh and blood beings are being held captive. Oh, okay, yeah. So that this is a being. We are all parts of one being. And that is what I keep saying, is the solar system, that is, you think of it as a being, but don't think of it as like a flesh and blood being. It is magical, supernatural being. It is not of what people can understand in that sense, because they picture, that we're all just inside a flesh and blood person and we're all just like the village inside the person. That's not how it is either. That's the biggest thing, is people got to get out of this flesh and blood being, that all of this stuff is real. It's the same as a dream. When you are in a dream and everything is real, and you can be making out with somebody and it's real. But then all of a sudden you go and wake up, and it's like, wait, that wasn't real? But it feels real. That is what we are in right now. Just that people, like, this is a lot longer of a dream. It's a lot more of a opportunity to learn. So people get all caught up in what this is. And I think it will make a big difference on how people come at life when they start really understanding who and what they are, that you're just a projection, you're a dream. You aren't real. You're real, but you're not real. Like, your energy is real. Your energy can do whatever it wants. It can change into whatever it wants. It goes in to have experiences and create these dramas and stuff so that it can grow and experience itself, so it can go in and watch itself, and kind of ego, huh? And so then, but it's more complicated than that. There's more to it, but anyways, the whole thing is that, so if you think of it as being a living, breathing, alive being, but it's not a being, it's alive. To me, it's solar system. It's a live solar system. We are all part of that system. We are like, how we all have cells and our organs and stuff. See, we are all those things inside this solar system. We are the creator. We make this system healthy or toxic. There's obviously battles going on in the system between good and evil, or light and dark, health and sickness. Like, there's these two forces, the yin and the yang. Then the solar system has to come into balance for itself. We are all just fractals of that system. We are fractals of God. We are God's creation. We are the energy of God experience in itself. And it can experience, hundreds of millions of billions of trillions, because it's not just right here on earth that it's experiencing. It's experiencing every planetary surface that there is for a realm to exist in. And they're all around us. Like, they're multi-stacked. They're everywhere. They're right next to us. Like, it's everywhere. And it's all based on vibration. So there's a realm right next to you, but you aren't in it because you aren't of that vibration. It's like a radio, like tuning to the station. There can be a station right next to you, but you got to tune in. Which station are you listening to? And that's the same thing about tuning into your body and listening to it. Like, oh, what are you saying here? Are you hungry? Or, like, my stomach keeps growling. I don't feel hungry at all. So, to me, I just got to listen to, so what are you telling me? What are you trying to show me? And it is always trying to show you something. Your body tries to tell you and show you, and people just don't pick up on the little, and it's got to get worse and worse and worse and worse so that they do start listening. Like all these people who are getting a little sick, who are just like, oh, put it aside, put it aside. Oh, I've had these. I'm perfectly fine. I'm good to go, but they're not tapping into their body and being like, because I get this stuff from my daughter all the time. Oh, well, went out and I did my 8 miles, but then I couldn't finish because my back hurts so bad. I'm like, your body's telling you something. You got to listen to your body. When you are going out and this stuff is happening, your body is talking to you. It's telling you something. That's when you go meditate. That's when you go listen. Your body is talking to you. The universe is talking to you. Your higher self is talking to you. There's a lot of communication. And I feel so certain that that is part of why they push for people to color treat their hair. Because if you burn the antenna, if you burn all your antenna and your follicles, I mean, all these people talk about their pineal gland and keep away from the fluoride. We've all got these calcified pineal glands. You can take your consciousness and you can tune in to that other place. So even if your pineal gland, I mean, you still dream, right? So anyways, I don't know. Maybe there's some people who really, their pineal gland won't work and they really are just stuck in this 3D world and they really have no insight, no connection to anything else because they took too much fluoride. I mean, I grew up on fluoride. I had to get fluoride treatments all the time. It's so crazy that, I'd go to the dentist and have like 18 cavities. And I would get lectured and lectured. I had root canal after root canal and fluoride treatment after fluoride treatment. You brush your teeth with fluoride, swish with fluoride. Like even when my kids were little, it was like, here, we want you to take this mouthwash, make your kids use it. It's got fluoride in it. Will help their teeth. Doing the fluoride treatments and stuff. I did all that before I realized it was poison and it was doing something to our pineal gland. But still, there is more to it too, because your hair is an antenna. And, so I think, all these guys are shaving their heads. But there is this guy that I listen to, and he's got a shaved head, and he is super spiritual. So, it doesn't, you can still be spiritual. Maybe his pineal gland is way bigger. Maybe he just is way better at listening. Maybe he's just, more connected naturally. And it does, so his hair doesn't make a difference. But I think there's a lot of girls out there who are coloring their hair, who are oblivious to the communication. And that is because of, the color of their hair. They've damaged their antenna. They're not paying attention. They're just focused on, I think a lot of girls are focused on trying to be accepted, and it all for women has been pushed on about what they look like for so long, like categorizing. I mean, there was even a point of numbering. I mean, even in movies, they make like a super hot girl, that's all that anybody would want. It didn't make a difference. Even the nerds, it's like, oh no, I want the hot girl. They didn't want to just be with somebody who they had something in common with. They wanted to be with somebody who just looked a certain way. And so many girls have played along on that, I saw this girl yesterday, and she said, I've seen a couple girls say this. It's so funny too, because they're both probably, I think, in their 40s. Both the girls I saw say this. One of them, she always is doing videos, and she always has these really short shorts on. They look kind of like yoga shorts or something. They're really small and tight. But so many girls love to show their butts. But anyway, so I guess apparently some people said something in her comments about her shorts. And so she was doing this video showing them or something and saying, like, I'm 40 years old. If I want to wear these kind of shorts, I'm just going to wear these kind of shorts. Or if I want to wear no, I think hers was a bikini. She was saying, I'm 40. Is that still, oh, that's what it was. She was asking, is that weird that I want to wear a bikini if I'm 40 years old or something like that? And I said, I'm 60. I'm over 60 and I still wear a bikini. I'll wear shorts. I wear sundress. Like I wear whatever the fuck I want to wear. And, so, people are always like, oh, well, like you're, oh, good for you. Be proud of yourself or whatever. It's like, no, stop fucking caring about what people think. And then yesterday was this girl, this lady, I think she said she was 40. And her video, she's showing herself like she's like, okay, I want you all to look at this. Just watch me walk. And she had on, just a summer little shirt. It wasn't even that small. It was just, a summery shirt and shorts. It was like nothing with her outfit. Just looked like a regular outfit. And so then she came in and she said, so this is what I had on yesterday. And I went to the coffee place and I was sitting there on my computer and these two young girls came in and it was right when I bent over to pick something up. And these two girls said something like, oh, yuck, or something. I can't remember what it was. It was really rude. And the lady said she looked over at them and they both got real quiet and just wouldn't even make eye contact with her anymore. And I said the same thing. Well, I'll wear whatever the hell I want. If somebody's got a problem with it, it's their problem. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them. Like, and then she said something like, well, you obviously have class. And it's like, the weird thing is when I was growing up, that was pushed on us hard. I even had to go to a course on it. Like my parents sent me to, what was it called? It was charm school. They sent me to charm school. So, but having class was a big thing. Like that was something my dad was always telling me, you need to have class, And so that was pushed on me all the time. So yeah, when I hear some of these people who do some of this stuff, it's like, what? Like how? I don't know what people are being taught now. They're not being taught to have manners or, have some dignity, have some class. Like they're just a bunch of fucking yard dogs all scrounging out there, just willing to tear the throat out of somebody else. It's like that energy is not going to get you far. It's not going to get you into the age of Aquarius. I'll tell you that, because that's not what it's going to be about. So it really is truly going to be about, it's going to be a very spiritually enlightened time where people really want to focus on feeling good for themselves. They're not chasing this materialistic kind of stuff anymore. People are going to really understand what life is about and, really put in the work to themselves. Now, I think relationships are going to change. I think there's going to be a drastic change in relationships and the starting of relationships because, I see there's still the arguments going over should we rip our babies out and throw them in the toilet? And people sharing about, so much stuff about the PP and how they started and, they're selling those as parts. They're going to charge you for taking it out and then they're going to sell it. So, what kind of bullshit is that? So, if it's yours, shouldn't you? You're going to rip it out. Shouldn't you be the one who, here, the highest bidder, come take it? But, it's not what the system does. So anyways, these people who are, there's all these different people who are continuing to talk about that whole thing, if we should pull them out and sell them. And so many people talking about the eating. Oh my God, I can't even tell you how much stuff I've seen now pushing on the cannibalism. Oh my God. They really wanted to normalize that. Like you can eat your neighbor or you can eat some bugs. Which is it? Neighbor, bugs. Oh, but this one guy said we should start out with our own pets. We just got to eat that's not even cannibalism. That's just scroungy. That's just scavenger behavior. Like, okay, so you take us out of the tribes and take us out of the places that we were, pull us in for a civilized life an educated life, a life of a city person. And then you say, oh, well, there's way too many of you. You came in. So, what we're going to have to do to save the planet is just eat each other. Oh, damn. The absurdity of some of this stuff is so mental. It is shocking, some of the stuff that I see that come up, it's just like, oh my God, they were really taking us into a very, very dark place. Luckily, we are here for something else. We're not here for that. I mean, it's pretty sickening when you have to see like their plans for it, but that's not where we're headed. And we're going to go back that full circle to being independent, to taking care of ourselves, to being in union with the planet. Ooh, and I saw this other thing too, where, well, I guess you can ask Siri or Alexa or something about the population on other planets. And like, apparently she knows. And she starts telling you numbers and what's there and who's there or whatever. So I've seen people sharing that. But it is going to go back to more independent, more small community. We're not going to have big government, They just wanted more and more government to control us, to, get it to this point where we couldn't get out of it. We're in a prison of being governed. But we're going to get out of it because, they're all failing. Their time is up. Nothing is going to work for them because of this change. But there is this whole thing about that there's people asking Siri and Google and all this stuff, that there's two Earths, it says. There's a 3D Earth and a 5D Earth or something. There's two Earths. One is high vibration, one is low vibration. And that they are going to separate from each other. So the 3D, so the people who think that some of this weirdo, sicko stuff is okay, they've still got to go in and learn, I guess they would stay on that one. And the other one that's going to go in the other direction. But see, each soul is making that decision. And I don't know. I still don't know how this is all going to play out. I find it fascinating that we have water coming out of the sky. I find it fascinating that we have rockets trying to get out of the firmament. Yesterday, right after I said that about the firmament, and it looks like they're trying to escape, and they go up there and they hit, and then they just start making this wake, and they're going across the whole thing, which it doesn't look like it's very far. Like, it really seems like that it is getting way closer or something, the firmament. Something, I mean, when you see some of this footage, it's like, that looks like it's just right above you, where these people are like, can't go any higher, and it's like water shooting out. So I don't know. There's something is going to happen in the physical that's going to change everything. Some cataclysmic event, something happens to create the reset. Is it these earths splitting and just going in two different realities? I don't know. I think that there's something's going to happen about the water. There's just nonstop stuff about the water. I mean, we got all these floods and stuff. There's something about the water. And I think that there's going to be, a lot of people who are going to die. But that is because that's their time to transition out. And it could very well be because they want to go to the new earth and be birthed into that one or something. Like, you can't really know. I saw the most saddest thing. This girl was doing this video and she's just bawling her head off. And she's like, oh, it's going to make me cry. Oh, so sad. Because she's just like, she's saying, I need my mom. Apparently her mom died a month ago. And her husband is cheating on her. And she just, it's sad, man. So sad. And people don't realize, like, they're here to save themselves. And, sad. I see so many sad stories, so many hard things that people are going through, and they just don't understand why it's happening. They don't understand the purpose of it. It's just so sad. And like, she doesn't understand. Her mom's right there. She's right there with you. She wants you to save yourself. You need to get away from this person who's hurting you, you know? You don't just lay there and have your mom, like she was like, I just want my mom to hold me and play with my hair and all this stuff, you know? And, but she doesn't see like that she had, her mom left because you can't be codependent on somebody to save you. You have to save yourself. Everybody has to save themselves. Everybody's here to learn their own lessons. Everybody has these deep, deep triggers happening to bring these things to the surface. Like, people have got serious, serious shit happening. And it's not because the universe hates you. It's because you yourself are putting yourself through this because you are trying to learn. But the people just get so stuck on some of this stuff, you know, and it's super painful. And they just have to listen and, you know, learn how to face themselves, how to heal their own wounds so that they can let go of the pain and suffering. And, but that's what everybody is here to learn. So I don't, you know, and I don't know about this whole thing with the earth splitting because it's, again, it's a dream. So if it's a split, it would kind of just be like there's just two realities, which we keep seeing these realities, but the realities are splitting in every single thing. Just like the spiritual community is very divided, and the religious community is very divided. The people who want to be governed are very divided. Like, everything is so divided. So I don't know. All I do know for sure is that in the age of Aquarius, when we get into where we're living that new life, it's going to be very different than this one. It's going to be different ways that we interact. I don't think people are going to be rushing into marriage. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yes. So when I see all these people talking about, you know, if people should just be able to rip babies out of them because that's the mature, responsible thing to do. And, you know, I mean, my mom tried. She took one of those pills to kill me when I was little, and I was stillborn. I was still born to a 16-year-old. I still had to go through that whole experience. That experience taught me a lot of stuff. You come in to go through those experiences, so you learn. So, you know, but it's just weird how people's attitude and stuff, and then they don't even understand that everything has a reason. And there's a reason why everything happens, and that you're a part of a system. And this system is trying to understand and evolve itself. And I think that this cycle is an expansion of the solar system. Like, does that mean, you know, we go in and we have two solar systems in, or we can move from solar system to solar system? Who knows how many solar systems there are? I mean, what we think of as life is very simple, very small. What is real is very huge, is very big, and is very magical. So anyways, the more that you can let go of this concept of flesh and blood, and, you know, you're being held captive, so you're being forced to project yourself into a hologram. No, I don't think that's true. I think that we are always projecting ourselves. We have a higher state of consciousness that is still us. And that state of consciousness creates its own avatar to project into a situation to observe itself. So, and you know, these people who think like you're going to be trapped in hell and stuff like that, you will be in, if you come into these low vibration places, you have lessons that you come to learn. It's not like you're going to be trapped. You're going to be there until you learn the lessons that you yourself told yourself that you want to learn. Like, people just all feel like that they don't have any control over things, but you are in control of everything. Just people just can't wrap their minds around, like, I wouldn't put myself through this. Well, You would. Because we all have an ego. And we all think like, oh, I can do that. No, I can do that. We just don't think about how hard it is when we get here and what we have to go through. And we all know as souls, this is temporary. This isn't forever. This is a temporary situation. And it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like when you're older and you see some kids playing and you see them, being traumatized by each other and fighting and screaming and crying and throwing themselves on the ground. And you can look at them and go, oh, they just don't understand. That's how our soul looks at us. When we're sitting down here crying and, oh, life is so hard, please save me. That's what they look at us. It's us looking at us. Like, oh, look it. I lose my shit over like this. I lose my shit over like that. Oh, I could do better. You know, there's a new way of looking at life. And I think that everybody who gets over to the new age will have a new way of looking at life. And we will live in a lot more simpler, but it will be a lot more fulfilling. It will be a lot more of adventure, and your time will be your own. I mean, I think there's going to be some places for people to go work, obviously. I was thinking of different things like that people would need, but I mean, their plan, no matter what, was to just have AI do everything. There wasn't going to be jobs. This is part of what people have to figure out for themselves, is like, what do I do with my life? Because there wasn't going to be jobs. They were going to give them all to AI. There was only going to be, a few jobs, but it would be the jobs where you completely like sign away your soul to do them. Like you would be all the time going against your own soul to have the jobs that they would be providing for you. But we're going into a different time where there probably will be AI doing some things. There probably will be technology, 3D kind of printers or something. There's going to be a completely different way where we're going to get stuff and have stuff, because the technology is going to be so much more advanced. The biggest thing is going to be the freedom and the wealth going back to where, it won't be hoarded. There won't be poor people. There won't be starving people everywhere. The wealth will go back to the people. But you can see why there's a lot of shit that still has to go on, because, we've got a bunch of drug addicts. We've got a bunch of people who have, don't know how to save themselves, who have gone in the other direction. They lose everything. They become homeless. Now you got these homeless people who, well, just doing drugs. And for sure where these people are down in these cities, that they are planting dealers down there. They're getting people to take this stuff, and these people don't even realize how addictive, and it's probably even being just slid into some people's stuff without them knowing. They're actively murdering. I mean, that's what they're doing. But like if all of a sudden it was like, okay, everybody, guess what? It's a Jubilee. Hey, all you drug addicts, we're going to give you some money. So hop on board, get in line. Those people wouldn't even know. There's a lot of healing that has to go on. So it's not going to be just like they're going to be handing out checks. Like I think they're going to get people into a position of not being, maybe it will start out with some shelters and getting people into some healing shelters and helping them get off drugs and stuff like that. And then when they do a completion, then, they can go and get land or something. Like, I don't know how it's going to go, but I think that the chaos that we are in is going to go into a calmness. Like we're in the eye of the storm. And then after the storm, it will go into calmness. But there's going to be a lot of, aftermath. There's going to be a lot of healing that has to take place. So, we still have a ways to go. It's not like tomorrow we're going to all wake up and those of us who were a high vibration, we get to go in and leave everybody else behind. No, this is part of the whole thing. Those of us who are awake, we came in to hold the hands of the people who weren't, to show them the way, to help them find their way in the dark. So, whatever's going to happen, I think it's coming in faster and faster and faster. I think time is speeding up. I think things are changing rapidly. So I feel, well, they keep doing all these little things, like little things to take down different areas. And who knows how many places really are just taken down and struggling. And, who knows? Because the news is complete lies. I mean, when they're putting footage on that happened a year ago and pretending like it's happening right now, it's total lies. So anyways, I've been talking a lot. Hopefully I said something that has some kind of value, but I don't know. I'm going to try and post this, the freaking something with my phone. So, anyways, I'll try and post this. Hopefully it goes on, and I will talk to you later. Bye.